topic of my presentation is integration of E-ARK specification and Europeana specification through eKultura project. Working for Ericsson, Nikola, Tesla company more than 20 years as a software architect. It's quite big company, more than 3,000 employees work all around the world. Mostly they are software developers and also mostly average age is young people and experienced one. You heard before on this presentation about eCulture project from colleagues Jelena from Ministry of Culture. So I will, through this presentation, describe maybe give you some technical view of this project. So before we go deep in some technical details, I would like always to go from some basics. So what is it about? So on the left side, I wrote some humans who producing some things like Airbus producing airplanes and each organization produce something, and they are using that for some time, and then there is one point of time when they decide to archive it, maybe due to some regulations, laws, or for memory reasons, or maybe they throw it back in garbage. And then it comes, well, again, one point in time when some heritage institutions like libraries, archives, museums, are interested to take over those things from those producers. For instance, museum will be interested to take whole airplane, but also documentation, how people were organized to make airplane in 21st century. And also what is evidence that last decades, a lot of things in digital format is produced. And also we have one more type of digital, let's say representation. It is digitizing physical things to be representative in digital form. And once when those things come in heritage institutions, they became again active. And those heritage institutions unpack those things, unpack, for instance, information package, arrange it in their way, pack it again, and make it publish. And in that, when that is finished, and when they want to make that information publish available, that's the maybe point when when archive specification is, let's say, modest about how to publish it in accordance with some web technologies which are using today, and then you have to go to other specifications to see what's the way to publish something. Probably we all recognize this picture. It is some simple illustration of information package. The blue one are folders, yellow one are files. And idea about long-term preservation is to put some digital content on the lowest possible level to be as much as possible independent of technology for reading it. So some acceptable will be to put it on the level of files and folders, and to put it on the level of textual documents. So for textual documents, we have PDFA, or we have XML as some language which is readable for humans and machines. And also there is a specification in E-ARK how to, let's call it, transform database data into XML level, and also geospatial data. But when it comes to video, audio, then we have a challenge here, and the way how to keep it during a time in terms of long-term preservation is to convert it in the format which is suitable for future software for using. So this is some typical example. When you are scanning something, you get a lot of, for instance, TIFF format. And if you want it to be available on the web, then you have to convert it in some format which can be used by web browsers. And that's also what we are doing in this project. And if we are going now on publishing, what we done previously in information package, that we make it all information technology independent. We want to be a technology agnostic. And now that same information, you have to provide it on the web. So you have to put some technology inside. So if you're going and reading E-ARK specification, maybe you will find some basic information that you have to make some dissemination information package, which can be consisted of one archive information package, part of it, or more information packages, and then you can provide it to some client. But there is no any sentence, or I didn't find it, about communication technology, how you will provide to that client. And what we done, we made some, let's call it wrapper around information package. And that wrapper is actually communication technology, which Europeana said, if you want to communicate with me, this is technology you have to apply it. And it is based on Open Archive Initiative protocol for metadata harvesting. And also you have this, what we called it, media server, to that things to work. And it works on the way that you are providing metadata stored in information packages and extended with links to the media which are also stored in information package. So Europeana harvesting those metadata, and when some client, not copying media on their server, but when some client goes to their web page and want to see something, in that moment, our media server is called to provide those content to the client. I also made that third point about are we satisfied with that type of communication. I'm not satisfied. It is good. It's better than the first one. But what you can see on the first and the second one, that arrows go from the left to the right. And it is one-way communication. What I would like to have it bidirectional communication, because when you provide something, I said that information package, when it is in heritage institution, when it is provided for learning, for education purposes, then it became live again. And what I would like to get as a source, that if someone comments, if someone makes some new relationship about my information package, if maybe artificial intelligence, some machine makes something, I would like to get that information back. So I have a little bit experience with blockchain technologies, and I'm thinking maybe connecting information packages to make one more wrapper around, that maybe we should think in that way, that to build some network, whatever happened in that network, that everyone is informed about that. And here on the next slide, I made some workflow, how it works in eKultura system. First, on the left side, we have institutions who are having some content in digital form. They have also software and tools for making digitization of physical content. And they are arranging those content, and after everything is finished, they are making SIP packages, information packages, and they submit it in e-culture system for long-term storage. And what is important here first is to generate persistent URLs, because once when you are publish those URLs outside, it must be persistent. And that is, I feel, also a problem today. If you are going to a lot of and Europeana and Europe archive portals, you can face a lot of missing links, broken links. And also what we extended a little bit specification of eArchive information packages by information, should that package be just for long-term storage, or it should be also available on to be harvested by other portals, by aggregators. And if it is set to true, then information package metadata is exposed in accordance with PMH protocol. And then next steps is aggregating those data. We also implemented national aggregator, which has a scope to aggregate data not just from the long-term storage of e-culture, but also from any storage around the world, who supports PMH protocol. And the next thing also is providing that data in aggregator to Europeana, because Europeana say that they want just to communicate with aggregators, not with each institution. What I also highlighted here is maybe the second challenge, or fifth challenge we had on project, is ontology of data. When you are archiving something in one type of organization, then you are dealing with one standard of how things are described, let's say in XML format. And now we have a challenge that we are, like also Europeana, collecting things from various types of institutions, and each institution had their own type of standard, like MODS, EAD, Lido for museums, MODS is for libraries, EAD comes from archives, etc. And I think that Europeana faced the same challenge, and they decided to make it their format called the Europeana data model. And we adopted Europeana data model, but also our partners from those institutions was not satisfied with Europeana data model, so we also extended a little bit so that all institutions can adapt to that. I think that there is a lot of work maybe to try to make some unique ontology by which you can describe anything what can come from those institutions. For instance, you have a Dublin core standard, but it is too simple for experts in those institutions to be used. So we have transformation modes, Lido, Dublin core, and other those metadata standards in European data model. European then harvesting those metadata, and as I said, on request, they are getting files, video, text, 3D, everything what you can see also on video Jelena showed us before this presentation. A little bit about the system. It is based on open source software, so it can be divided in three main parts. Digitization, we also use Gobi workflow, and as colleagues from Austria mentioned, they also face a challenge to Gobi has its own MET structure and using mods as a descriptive language, and we made it also using Commons IP to make component which producing SIPs in accordance to E-ARK So if you need some advice, you can contact us. Also, we are using Tesseract for OCR, RODA-IN also as some more simple tool for creating SIPs. For long-term storage, we used RODA, Cantaloupe as a media server for providing IIIF communication. Voxai is Open Archive Initiative PMH server. And on web portal, we use WordPress, Omeka, and Universal Viewer. Universal Viewer is IIIF image viewer, but we extended it to be able to show in one viewer video, audio. Okay, I'll finish this one. Video, audio, and 3D. So, for instance, in Europeana, they are using Mirador, and both viewers are based on IIIF standards. But when we are sending to them our IIIF manifest, then there is some incompatibility in those manifests, so we have to adapt it. And Mirador is not able, just showing pictures, is not able to play videos in movies. They are played on the other way. And is not, Europeana is not able to play at the moment 3Ds. Okay, since we are going out of time, maybe I will conclude with this slide, because after that I have screenshots of the system which you already seen in Jelena's presentation. So also when you are going in such a project, there are a lot of challenges. We base the system on the open source. Also big challenge is that when you are working on national-wide system that you have, it must be adaptable by any size of institution. We have in our system institutions with few employees and few hundred employees. For digitalization, also we have to provide some tools which are adaptable for their IT system, but also secure high quality of digitization process. Central system should be compliant with all those standards. So we are supporting a lot of these descriptive standards, and also we reused a lot of specification from E-ARK, eArchiving building block. And also, of course, the portal should be attractive, should be quick and easy for search, have some advanced functionalities.